Yo, it's good. Welcome to the Arlington Cinema Drafthouse podcast. This is your host, Petey Steele.
And I'm Elena Torres, and we are here with two very funny, amazing comics. Please welcome Dante Chang and Stephen Ho.
Hello.
Stephen Ho should go first, though.
Well, it's the order of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Haha.
No,
Right?
we gotta start. We gotta start over.
We got to start over.
God, you look so cute with your glasses, Steve.
Thanks.
Look really cute.
I was just stalking you online a little bit, and I'm curious about your ER past because you're a comedian but retired ER tech, right?
That's right. That's right.
I'm curious because everything's fine, but I had a baby a few months ago, and we spent a lot of time in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Once a month, so I really got to know like how all that shit works. And sometimes the tech knows more than the nurse.
Yeah.
You found that?
Yes. You know, it kind of just happens sometimes. Sometimes like the tech, for whatever reason, the tech might be more knowledgeable than the nurse. Sometimes the nurse is more knowledgeable than the doctor on certain things. But you know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. It also just depends on what mood they're in during that day. You never know.
Sure. Yeah, I worked on a psych ward for about 6 years. I'm a licensed social worker. And sometimes you got techs that are actually foreign and they haven't taken like the equivalency exams and they're doctors back home. And now all they can do is tech over here. It's kind of fucked up.
It is. Yeah, I like, and you know, again, it goes the other way too. I worked with several Filipino nurses who were like dentists and doctors in the Philippines, but they came here. They're like, "Fuck the medical board. I'm just going to take the NCLEX," and that's not easy either. So, yeah, it happens.
Right.
That's cool. How long did you do that before you started comedy?
Petey, do you realize we just asked the same question at the same time? How cool is that?
Dude, we're pretty hot.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I'm so turned on right now. I started in 2010. I volunteered in the ER as a Vietnamese medical translator. That was my first stint in the ER. And then I became an EMT on the ambulance for 2 years after that. And then I worked in the hospital in the ER for the next 8 years as an ER technician. So about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when was the point that you were like, okay, I can stop doing this and do comedy full time?
That was about 2 years ago. I think it was the beginning of 2021.
Was there an event that let you do that, or what did you find that crossed your career over?
It was the TikToks, the social media platform. Things started really blowing up, and I started making money on there, and I realized like I don't need to be at this job 36 hours a week anymore. I can just be at home and make videos. So I did.
So for people that don't know, can making TikToks pay, or is it TikTok that pays you? Is it like marketing that pays you, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, it's a combination of everything. When I started on TikTok, that's all I had. I had TikTok. I gained a following, and TikTok pays like a little bit through their app, but most of the money when I was starting out came from brand deals, right? People who are willing to pay for you to promote their coffee cup in your videos because you're already guaranteed a certain amount of views and they could see it, right? All your videos gains X amount of views. Like, okay, well, we'll pay for those views if you put this freaking cup in there. So that's how I was making money. And then I started repopulating the videos to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and they all pay a little bit. YouTube and Facebook paying the most. And, from there, and then you get brand deals from those platforms too. Some people like certain platforms over the other. So it just depends on, who's paying what for where.
So here's my question. I don't know if anybody out here is making content, right? But how do you discern what brands to put in your deals? Like, do you have an agent that helps you, or is it just like people that message you? They're like, hey, we'll give you this to put our coffee cup in you. And like, how do you know that that's legit or not?
Yeah, no, it's a combination of everything. When I started out, like I didn't care. I took everything. I took every second because I didn't know any better, and I was working in the ER. I didn't think this stuff was gonna last, right? I was getting money to promote like the big thing when TikTok was starting out was promoting songs. So
Yeah.
they'll pay you like a couple $100 to use their song in a video, right? Now I do have a team that's helping me, sift through these deals. I do get emails. Sometimes I get DMs. Sometimes the agency will reach out because they have like a roster of people and there's brands coming to them and they'll be like, here's who we have. What do you think? What do you want? And they'll negotiate the deals for me now.
Okay, because I've gotten messages before being like, want to promote our jewelry? We'll give you a necklace for free. And I'm like, I don't know. They never offer me money though. I'm not on that level.
Yeah, no, that happens a lot. That happens a lot with, these smaller companies. Like, they have no choice. They have to go out to social media influencers and, be like, please,
right,
for us, help us.
That's the wide net. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's all part of the game.
Yep. So the game, comedy, how much has it been kind of a transition becoming like a TikTok sensation to taking it to the stage? Have you felt like it's been an adjustment, or do you feel like this was already kind of like you were ready and then this just happened and then it was like, all right, yeah, I've been waiting for this. I've been in the gym.
No, a little bit of everything. Like I have been waiting for this. I've been on stage before. I used to do theater year round full time, like 6 years in the Bay Area before I moved to LA, it's why I moved to LA. I wanted to become an actor,
Awesome.
Yeah, so I came to LA and I started auditioning. I had a sketch show that I was part of. It was like a monthly sketch show. I was going to rehearsals. It was at a theater. And then I started taking stand-up comedy classes at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I just finished class. We had our first showcase. You do 5 minutes in front of friends and family at the school. And then COVID happened and everything shut down. And I lost everything. And the fastest way a year later to get back on stage was to do stand-up comedy. So I said, screw everything else. I'm just going to do stand-up comedy. That was the quickest way to get back on stage. So it just so happens, by the time that happened, I had this huge following. So when I was going up and trying to do like my 7 minutes, we had like 50 people show up to like a 20-seat tiny black box theater. I'm like, oh, this is not going to work.
Wow.
This is insane. Like they want to see me for like an hour. I'm like, I got 7 minutes and I could dick around for like 8, so I was doing 15 and it just wasn't cutting it. So, I stopped doing that because I didn't want people to show up and just see me for 15 minutes and have to see,
not have the goods. Yeah,
and not have the goods. So, I started going to the gym, started being on Dante's helped me. Like he's booked me on a bunch of shows and, just trying to get better.
Dante's the best. We love Dante. That's how you guys met doing stand-up?
Well, we met at a Christmas party and I sexually harassed him because I was drunk when I met him. I told him, God, I remember the first words I ever uttered to him was like, God damn, you're cute as fuck. I think I creeped him out and he disappeared. I was like, where'd he go? Where'd this horrible guy go? And then
Fuck yeah, disappeared, you creepy ass motherfucker. He had like a drink in his hand. I said, someone introduced me to him. He's like, God damn, you cute as fuck. And I'm like, this guy doesn't talk like he looks, and I'm kind of weirded out by it.
Yeah, man. Dante's got a lot of different personas, man. He wears a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Car dealer, shoe dealer, joke slanger.
Yeah. I think we've
sexual harasser.
Sexual harass straight men.
Sexual harassment at the top of that list.
I still harass him all the time.
I was gonna say, but you've got to kind of like it because he's
taking him on tour.
You guys are hanging out.
I keep coming back.
Does.
I keep coming back. I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah.
He likes it. It's fine. It's fine.
Actually, before this episode, I was trying to learn some information about Steve, and I looked him up, and I literally thought I was going to be interviewing the martial artist. And I was like, if I'd have heard this now, I'd have been like, why didn't you just like throat chop him or some shit,
So Stephen, but you probably looked it up, Stephen Ho. That is the more famous Stephen Ho, and he's been the most famous Stephen Ho for a long time now. He is been
Do
trying
you
to surpass
ever
that
do
guy.
you ever have issues with that confusion? Now that you have such a following online, do people ever think you're the other Stephen Ho?
No, they never do. The most confusing thing is like my username because nobody gets it, and it doesn't make sense to me either. Because right, I think my username is like Steve IOE, and but everybody on the streets just calls me like, oh, you're that doctor, oh, you're that nurse, oh, you're that ER guy, oh, you're Steve. And the problem was when I was blowing up, it was Stephen Ho on all my social medias, but I didn't want my job to find out that it was fucking me doing this, so I changed it immediately. I changed it to the first thing that was available. And the only thing that was available, of course, was the only thing that didn't make sense because nobody wanted it. So it was Stevie IUE.
Yeah.
Oh, you never told me that. Now I get it.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit I'm also working up on stage where it's like, oh, they see it's Stevie IUE.
Well, I like the alias, but let's get to the nitty gritty. Could you take Jet Li in a fight?
Fuck yeah. Fuck that guy. He's old now.
All right.
I could punch him and run.
ED Tex can take fucking anybody.
He doesn't have the knees anymore. He's like 60 now.
Yeah. You've had some injuries, but none of them have been, stunt related. You got him in real fucking combat.
Oh yeah, no, I got that guy.
And have you been going out and touring a lot?
That's what it
What's
says.
that?
It says Stephen Ho. It has a picture of this Stephen Ho, but it says American martial artist. So you're taking over his shit.
Oh god.
Oh wait, so it's your picture on the martial arts thing?
Yeah.
Man, you look
Yeah.
Wow.
you look good. I never seen your hair like this. You look beautiful.
Was it
You
a
know
second?
what?
Different.
You know where that picture came from? It was when I first moved to LA and I got this agent and they were like, you got to get new headshots. Of course, like they'll want new headshots. So I went to this freaking lady and paid like $800 for 4 headshots. And she was like, this is how you should look. And I'm like, who the fuck's going to hire this guy to do anything? This isn't me at all. But I didn't know any better, right?
And the agent gets a kickback.
The agent absolutely gets a kickback because a month later I see them taking pictures together and having fun and like food on, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, the first agent, I lived in LA for a little bit. The first agent I got in LA said, because my name was Elena Torres and I'm Hispanic, that they'd only hire me if they could send me out for Hispanic parts. So they'd only hire me if I dyed my hair brown. And I was like, it's not gonna work. And so I dyed my hair brown. I just looked like Katie Holmes. Like it just looked like a white lady with brown hair. And they made me, I was like, I'm just gonna look like a little worse. And they made me do like a whole set of headshots with the brown hair because they were gonna send me out. And then they dropped me like months later because it didn't work. And then I had to chop a bunch of my hair off. I was like, thanks guys. They're the worst when you first get there, how they fuck with you, right?
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck because like from their perspective, there's so much turnover anyways. Might as well make some money off this person before they move back home. Because
totally.
Yeah, it's a volume intensive business. It has nothing to do with quality.
Yeah, it was the most expensive thing I'd ever paid for. It was $800 for headshots. I'm like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, you need these. And like they
your hair looks nice though.
It never looked like that again. I show up to these auditions and I never looked like that. So I'm like, who is this helping?
Yeah.
You look like you're playing like a figure skater in that picture.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? What do you see when you see that? Not anything I would ever go out for.
No.
He's just calling you beautiful to redeem himself for when he said you were fucking cute or whatever.
That's an odd way.
He's sophisticating his sexual harassment now that he's been called out on it.
It has to be remixed. The compliments have to be remixed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah. Look at you blushing. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So do you feel ready to go out and tour, or have you been touring already? How do you feel about headlining?
Yeah, no, I've recently gotten more comfortable now. I think it was with you, Dante. I think it was earlier this year. I did my first 40-minute set at the Irvine Improv, and that really like boosted my confidence because it went pretty good, I think.
Really well. Well, I told you. So we did a show last year at Laugh Factory in San Diego together, and Steve Ho. I think I was headlining. Steve Ho was featuring somewhere, and I was like, dude, you should headline. He was like, are you crazy? He looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, dude, you got it. And you have the following. So, and then you have the work ethic. Because he's not like one of those social media guys that came up that just depend on that. He works, he puts in the work. You know,
Yeah.
he's a real comedian. He's legit, he's a legit comedian. And once I saw that, I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And then I was like, and then I kind of forced him. I was like, just go, you're gonna headline this one, the next one. And then he just kept going. And then now it didn't take long either. I kind of looked at him like one day, like, I told you so, motherfucker. Like it wasn't like a stretch. I saw it before he did. It was so obvious to everyone but him. It was weird. Everyone thought the same thing but him, you know, like, so I mean, it just seems unlikely because you haven't been at the time you were only doing comedy for 2-3 years, but when you're getting like 20-30 minute sets at you're getting great spots, and he's going to open mics, he's still working out his shit too, you're gonna develop fast because great stage time develops great confidence, and also he's put in the work. He truly cares about being a good comedian, not just using it to you know, up his fame or whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I saw it was just blatantly obvious to me, you know.
But that's the thing too, because like you're right, and I appreciate what you said, Dante, because I really do love the stand-up comedy stuff, and it's just a thing. It's just a matter of like not wanting to disrespect the process, you know. Like I believe in the process, and I want it to happen organically, and I want it to happen slowly in the right way, which is why I hesitated for so long. It's like I haven't been doing this for that long. Like I could barely get like, you know, this much time. I think if I want a headline, you have to have that X amount of time. So it was a combination of that where I was thinking like, no, man, you're not ready. Like what, like, you know, think about the people who've come before you, what they had to do to get there. You know, just
you can ask them. You can ask them. 2 to 3 years is extremely fast to headline. It's very usually unlikely.
But everything you're saying makes sense because, and one, I can already tell how good you are by saying you want to respect the process, because I've opened for TikTok people before, where I've opened for them and I've been doing comedy longer than them, and they don't necessarily care about the process, you know? If you care about the process, but you have to think about like your first 2-3 years, it's all about just trying to get stage time for the most part. Like most comedians, it's that you're just, and like you're fighting for 5-minute spots here, 5 minutes, 7 minutes there. Like in your first 2-3 years to get 20 minutes, like that maybe happens like 1 or 2 times a year. So if you're getting all those minutes, like of course you're going to develop faster, especially if you care about working hard. Like it's just a question of math. Like and you're just going to go quicker.
It is a supportive fan base. So that helps. Having a supportive fan base, getting the stage time, and just honestly, he has every quality. He's extremely likable, which also helps too. But then on top of that, he's putting in the work, which is the most important thing, which separates him from a guy that everyone, because no lie, we all know that social media comedians have a bad reputation, and behind closed doors, they get shitted on. But he's one of those that don't get shitted on, and then he gets respected because of what he put. He's the one, him and like Ryan Davis are the two that I'd say they get respected, because if you watch their comedy, it's not dog shit. You can tell it's just not put together last minute. It's not something there, because we've all seen it when they're just kind of just like breezing through. You have one punchline every 8 minutes, and it's like you just kind of just rambling on about nonsense, where he has a joke, he has joke, he tells a story, and it's just, there's all he has substance. It's not like, and that's what I think separates really a real comedian from a fake TikTok guy, where you're like, you're just fucking saying nonsense up there. Like it's not really you're just using, which I'm not mad at. But I just don't want to work with you really, because I love this. I love this thing. I love comedy. I could tell he does, and it's not like, I get it if you want to use it as a stepping stone to be famous, especially here in Los Angeles, where it's not so common in DC. But here you see it every second, and I get it. That's your deal. I'm not gonna disrespect you, or I don't hate you, but I don't really want to work with you, because the way if we work together, the way we're gonna approach is gonna be different. I'm gonna look at it from an artistic point of view. You're gonna look at it from how can I get famous off this point of view. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Steve's never done that. Everything organically happened to him. He just loves what he does. And those are the people I appreciate,
Yeah. And 2 to 3 years, okay, you've been doing stand-up for 2 to 3 years, but if you've had all this stage experience too, like you got to give yourself some credit for everything you've done. And like, it's not like you get a following on TikTok off of having no comedic timing either.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I do think eventually, like, it's gonna happen where like I will be headlining my own shows, and we'll be doing the hour. But again, it's just because like I came up from this, like, I did the stage theater stuff, and that took a long time just to like gain respect around the community, to be invited to auditions. It's a different process, but it's almost the same way as comedy, right? You're around long enough, you meet people, then you start getting invited to shows, but you got to take time to put in the work.
Absolutely.
I did that for like 6-7 years doing theater, and so I knew what it takes. I knew what it was like to try to sell a fucking ticket. It was like, nobody wants to go see Shakespeare, but God, I beg people to come. It's the same thing with stand-up comedy. Nobody wants to go see you do fucking like 5 minutes. Like, even your friends are like, dude, really, do I have to come? Like, please, I need at least 5 people, or they won't let me.
Yes.
Or if they come, they want to see you fuck up, and that's where the laugh is.
Yeah, that's fuck. And on top of that, for comedy, when you invite your friends, you're like, your friends, sometimes they're comedians, sometimes, whatever they do, they have to buy 2 drinks. And you're like, please just, come spend the money to see me do 5 minutes, every week. It's like, no, nobody wants to fucking do that. So I understand what it takes to like fucking sell a ticket to a friend, have them beg them to come see something. They're like, I had absolutely no interest in seeing this, but because I love you, I'll do you this one favor one time,
Yeah, I think that, to me, that says a lot about you to understand the process, because maybe your journey has been accelerated, but it's deserved. And I think a lot of people, to Dante's point, like a lot of social media comics are like, people are going to go see me talk about nothing for an hour because it's me, which is such a disrespect to stand up in general, because like being funny is hard, especially being funny for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Didn't you have some people you opened up for, Elena, that were like, oh, like you're not up here because of like TikTok, but because of actual like work and stand up, and they were like bewildered with the fact that you use like the normal conduit to get booked?
Yes. Yeah, I opened for a social media person, but this person, I think, I partially, like I told you, I think had a point, because this person was like, do people still climb and stand up doing live shows? Does that still work?
It's hard.
And I was like, that's a legit question. Like, it kind of fucked me up a little bit, because I was like, you know what? That's a good question and a good point. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I was like, at the end of the day, I'm opening for you, and I've been doing stand up for a while. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a fucking loser, Elena. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what you think about that. Because like maybe that process that you're talking about respecting isn't going to be the process for very much longer. That's sort of where it fucked me up a little bit. I was like, damn, I don't know.
I agree that something's changing, because I could see it and I could feel it. I think we all can, but for me personally, I still want that process for myself. I don't know what's happening with everybody else. I don't know what people are seeing. I don't know what the bookers are seeing, because I've had it happen to me too. Like, people have never seen me do stand-up, but because they see the following, they're like, yeah, you can come, book you on the show, and they'll promote the shit out of my face on their flyers and get people to come, right? So I know they don't give a shit if I'm funny or not, as long as it brings like a couple people, right? And
they need to sell. They're in the business of selling tickets and selling drinks and food.
Yeah, and I totally understand. Ran my own comedy show in Hollywood for a little bit. I know how stressful it is to get people in seats and to sell a ticket, so I get it. But in terms of like, what it takes to get there these days, the following definitely helps.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it's always been around. Even before a lot of this social media, there'd be comedic actors and actresses that would get in there, and they're getting 50% more a ticket at the door. People just seen them in a movie, and it's like, it's not even the same deal. They're like the, carpenters to the cabinet makers. You know what I mean? Like, a cabinet maker can build you a back deck, but carpenter ain't gonna know how to lacquer a fucking, cabinet and engrave all the shit and do all the elaborate doodads that a comedian can do when it comes to like humor. But
Yeah.
it don't matter unless it matters to you.
Yeah, of course. And I, you know, and I'm not mad at them. I say go for it. Like if you want to do it for, you know, one time, see what you got. Because like if you don't really like this stuff, you're just not gonna last. What the fuck?
That's right.
Like I want to quit all the time. And I think I'm pretty decent. And I'm just like, sometimes you have like a bad show, you bomb, you're just like, fuck this, man. What am I doing with my life? You know?
Yeah.
It
I've never
happened,
seen you bomb.
it happened when I did when I went to Edmonton. It was like I did 40 minutes. I went with Jack Jr. I did 40 minutes. I was headlining right after him. Did great, right? For my audience, and then I was featuring for him the next 4 or 5 shows. The person who owned that show, who owned the club, Tammy, heard what I did. Was like, I'm gonna come tomorrow. I'm gonna watch you. I bombed for 6 straight shows, 25 minutes each. I felt horrible. I left Canada and I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I took like a week and a half break, 2 weeks break. And I was like, I'm fuck this. I'm never like I was like, you want to do a show? No, I'm not doing any shows. Fuck this. I'm not doing this ever again. Right?
Sad. It doesn't happen with me though.
Mm.
So for everybody who's like, oh, I want to try stand-up comedy, I'm gonna use my following, like it'll be fine. Like, go ahead, try it. Like if you laugh more than me, or good for you, right? Because but no, if you don't really like the process of it,
You don't want this life. No.
it's not gonna last.
And
No.
by the way, everybody bombs. Everybody at every level bombs, like kind of on the regular, I feel like.
I've seen
Everybody bombs.
I've seen Chappelle bomb, Bill Burr bomb.
Yeah.
I've seen, well, you know what's weird? Bill Burr does this thing where his joke doesn't work, but then he recovers by ranting why you guys are stupid for not getting the joke. And it just works. So
Yeah.
he recovers with the rant every time. But I've never actually seen him bomb, but I've seen the joke not go over and he recovers with a rant or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I
Sure.
mean? Chappelle, I've seen him bomb like almost, I feel like I've seen him bomb more than do well.
Well, yeah, Chappelle, I've heard will go on stage for like 4 or 5 hours at a time. But I always say the best comedians are the ones where you can't really tell that they're bombing. Like the audience doesn't really realize, like what you're saying, like what Bill Burr does. Like if they're laughing at the rant, like they don't even really get that he's having a bad set.
He might be the best comedian. He might be the best comedian on earth right now. So
Yeah.
And that takes experience, you know?
Right.
That takes experience, like that takes like feeling out the stage, the crowd, like
Yeah, to have that plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you know, it takes time, and if you're again, people who's trying to do it one-off or trying it for the first time, I support you. To do your best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because because I know what's happening with my audience when I have them come to a comedy show. Half the people have never been to a comedy club, and that's what I love.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I hate.
Here's my question, actually. So you have this following. What's this like? Because this is something, you know, we're not coming up this way because like to your point, right? Kind of what you were talking about earlier, like you've got this following, so people come to see you. So what's it feel like when people are coming to see you and then you bomb? Like what happened? Like, because that's so much pressure because, you know, like I don't have a big following on social media. So when I bomb, it's like, I can get out of there and it's like, they'll just be like, that chick sucked. And then I don't have to worry about it anymore. But when they're coming to see you, like, what's that feeling?
Oh my God, when they come, they love you and you bomb. It's it just depends. Like
Fucking mortifying, right?
Yeah.
how long you bombing for? Like, you know?
Yeah.
If it's like if I'm there doing like, because in the beginning I was doing 15, 20 minutes and I might bomb for like, 5, 7. It's okay. It's not that bad. Like your ass isn't that sore, right?
Right,
After
right,
like 7
right.
minutes of sitting on a chair. But if I'm
Right.
doing 40 minutes and I'm bombing for like 20 of it, man, they're not excited. Because there's always that moment, you know it too, when you go on stage, you do well, you get off, a comedian, yeah man, good set.
Elena.
Did he freeze for everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, Steve froze.
The MVP just froze.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
wait, let me see what minute that is.
I think he's
so I
back.
can tell
I think
them.
he's back.
It's about 30 minutes. Okay, I'll tell them. Anyway, sorry, you froze for a while there.
Sorry about that. But what I was saying was, if I bomb, it almost, if it's my audience, it almost doesn't matter. They'll still want a picture. I mean,
Really?
oh yeah, they'll still at least want a picture. It's you could tell who's there for me and who's not.
Oh, he's gone again.
Uh-oh.
It's not the smoke, is it? Oh,
Ah.
No, I mean,
They want to see you or not. Oh my God, this is
I kind of love it. You're back.
You're bombing.
sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going
He's so
on
smart.
here.
He's stopping his internet because he's like, Elena, I don't want to talk about bombing. I don't want to tell
Yeah,
people that I do that.
the universe doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta cut this.
God damn it, you
You gotta cut this. I never bomb.
Yeah, exactly. Never, not
never
one.
bombs. I've never seen him bomb ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, as he's frozen, I'll say I've never seen Steve bomb ever.
There you
Not-
go.
See, that's what- I'm being dead serious here. I've never seen him bomb. You know, he might be testing shit at a mic, but but he always does well. Always, I've seen him always do well. Never
Yeah.
have a bad set. You know.
Dante, I'm not gonna sleep with you. You could stop the compliments, man. We're not doing
No,
that.
this is facts. This is facts. And you know what? You might already have. You don't know it yet because I drugged you.
Ooh. Wow.
No, but I haven't. I mean, I'm sure. Who knows if I'll ever see a day? You know,
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's weird. For some reason, I have this thing where when I see the people that I like or I want to do well, they never do bad. Like when I go see my favorite basketball player, he's lost once I've gone to his game every time they come to LA. Whatever, it doesn't matter who. But I'm just saying, they never lose when I go watch. And they'll have a losing record at the end of the year. But for some reason, I don't know why. I feel like
You're a good luck charm. Dante
Maybe.
Charm.
I don't know. I don't want to just jinx and say that, but for some
You can't
reason,
tell an Asian person that they're lucky, Petey. That's racist.
I'll
That's
take it, though.
affirmative.
or just if I'm fortunate to bring luck to others, that'd be great, But I've never seen Steve do bad ever. Never.
You have a vibe. You have a vibe. You have the good luck vibe.
Yeah. It's always a good sign. We did. I think what did we do? We did San Diego the last time.
Yeah.
San Diego, that was the first time I had ever done 2 back-to-back 40-minute sets, and that was like less than a month ago. I didn't realize how hard that was. I was exhausted.
It's
Fuck
really
yeah.
hard.
Halfway through
Really hard.
halfway through the second set of the night, I was done. I was like, I wanted to leave. Like this is not fun anymore. I'm exhausted because I wasted all my energy between shows talking to people.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
a big
Cool.
thing you got to watch out for with those
Yeah.
sets. Even before like the night begins, like don't go like meet up with people or any kind of shit like that. People are like, oh, I'm gonna come take you to dinner before the shows. No,
I didn't
yourself out.
I didn't realize that. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
People don't realize how it's kind of like it's a physical job to do comedy. It takes so much energy, so much out of you. Like you need to take breaks
Yeah.
Yep.
in between. That's why like those meet and greets and stuff that people do, like that's a lot of work.
I know, and that's the thing too. I think last time we were in Arlington, I told them, "Hey, man, I can't do the first show meet and greets. Like, I'll take pictures of the second show, but I can't do the first show. I'll be dead. I'm exhausted."
Sure.
Yeah, I get that. So are you doing, because I know you're coming to Arlington on May 5th and 6th. Are you doing any other shows around the country?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, traveling a lot. I'm gonna be in St. Louis next weekend. St. Louis, Louisville, and Chattanooga for like 10 days. Going to Vegas, I think Washington, Detroit, Chicago. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. So you're like fully doing a tour. That's going to be like, you're going to be like a sharper than the other Stephen Ho.
Oh yeah.
That's
I'm hoping to erase this guy off the internet.
Oh yeah.
I think you're the biggest guy now because it's your picture. I think you're the biggest Steve Jones.
Yeah, that's right. If it is your picture, I mean,
It does say martial artist, so it's like the algorithm is shifting over.
it's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, by the end of this year, it'll be Stephen Ho TikToker with a different picture, hopefully.
Nah, Stephen Ho, comedian, actor, something like that.
Well, the other one actually dabbled in stand-up comedy for a little bit too.
Did he really?
His Wikipedia page. That's why I was double confused when we logged on and I looked at his face. I'm like, this guy's like 20 years younger, if not more. Like, this dude's 50. Like, he was backing up Jet Li and like all this shit.
Yeah.
God damn, you really did your research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. For the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Who would have fuck if you started? So, Steven, you were a martial artist. And you're 50 years. It would have been horrible if you started with that.
I was really planning on asking if he could take Jet Li in a fight
You
and
asked him
turn it into a
anything.
riff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you brought your questions no matter what.
You really want somebody to beat up Jet Li, don't you?
Yeah, I never got over Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love Lethal Weapon 4.
Excellent. All of them are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, fuck
Well-
yeah, man. So you're coming here 5th and 6th of May. Dante, are you featuring?
Yes, sir. I'll be there too.
Awesome. I'll definitely come. That's my birthday weekend, so I'll definitely fly through and say what up and
Where do you
fly you
live?
guys around or whatever.
Where do you live, Pete?
DC.
Oh, but you said you'd fly in?
No. I mean like slide in or whatever. If I said fly, yeah.
Gotcha.
Metaphorical fly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Come on, come through. We'd love to see you.
Awesome.
Well, we want to thank Stephen Ho and Dante Chang for coming on the podcast with us today. Come see them on May 5th and 6th at Arlington Drafthouse. Usually show times are 7 and 9 p.m. I might be off by half an hour, but it'll be so fun. Please come see them. I definitely am going to come see, just because talking to you guys is so great and I'm excited to see your comedy.
She doesn't
Anything
believe
else?
in TikTokers.
Anything
I
else?
wouldn't
Anything else you
either.
guys? Anything else you guys want to plug? Want to talk about? Before we
that's
say
it.
goodbye to people.
Excited to be there.
Excited
Thank
to
you
have
guys
you.
for thank you guys for doing the podcast so much.
Oh, hey,
You got it.
we're happy to do
Appreciate
it. We love doing this. We love talking to comics. Everybody,
yeah.
everybody's got really cool, it's really interesting stories that you hear about, and like so many different perspectives that people come in. And then, just so you know, Steven, we've been doing this podcast for how long?
Couple years, maybe
Yeah,
3.
a few years. We now have had guests that have won Golden Globes, been nominated for Oscars, people who are huge celebrities now. It's like something happens when you come perform at Arlington Drafthouse, and like the next year, amazing things happen in people's careers. We've seen it so much. So it's good luck to come to.
We're the
shit.
TikTok of podcasts.
It's true.
All right. Yeah. I'm excited.
All
I'm gonna go
right.
accept my Emmy next year.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah,
All right.
dude.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.